Welcome in to Sport Talk with D-Watt. I'm your host, D-Watt, and on this show, we're talking about the Tennessee Vols and the college football playoffs. I've got my good buddy. He's back on this show. What is going on, Randy?
Not much. What's going on, D Walt?
Oh, it's a cool, chilly, rainy night here
I
in
know.
Chattanooga,
I know.
Tennessee.
I know them days last what was it yesterday? It was nice. Nice warm day, and today was this morning was pretty warm. Now it's turning off to be cold and rainy again.
Yep, it has definitely cooled off here. All right, let's do a little New Year's Eve talk and whatnot. Let's hear about your plans that you had for a New Year's Day.
New Year
And Eve.
no, New Year's Eve we went up New Year's Eve we left here, went up to Nashville, and my wife had a doctor's appointment at Vanderbilt, so we just decided to stay the whole night, and we went up there to the Nashville, New York Bash, what they call. We was right down in the middle of Broadway.
Oh man.
Lord mighty, Lord mighty. It was fun and it was interesting. I can say I done that, but you got a lot. If you like a crowd, you'll be all
Okay.
right. If you don't like a crowd, that's not the place to go.
I was about to ask about the crowd. Was it just chaos or was it
It
controlled
was
chaos?
it was just chaos is everywhere. I mean, people walk. I mean, I don't know how many people they said was there. It was crowded, but I mean, they had all the top country music singers down there. Jason Aldean, uh, Laney Wilson was there. I can't. Dirk's band, Brooks and Dunn. I mean, we done that. We went over and ate at Puckett's, which there's Puckett's here in Chattanooga. We ate there, and they was playing some music in there, and then we walked down there to that, and we seen how crowded it was, and we was like, let's go back to the room. So we went back to the room and watched everything else in the room. I mean, me and her both. We're older. We don't the crowds. I can't deal with the crowds like that.
Yeah, you don't really catch me as the type that's going to go out New Year's Eve and be in a big
No,
crowd.
no. I mean, we don't do none of that party stuff. It's something that she wanted to do. It was on her bucket list, and I'm like, okay, it sounds like it'd be fun, and it was fun. It was fun. I like to go back down there. I mean, we go to Nashville quite a bit, so I like going up there, and that's just something we've never done. Never been down Broadway like that up through there, and it's interested seeing all that.
Yeah, on my end, it was pretty chill for me. Didn't do a whole lot. Christmas, I worked that on the eve, and then New Year's Day just took it easy. But played some a pickleball, went to the gym, stuff like that. Just kind of hung around the house a little bit there throughout the day, and went did a few things outside. It was a pretty nice day. But yep, for me on my end, that's probably about all I did. Let's talk a little about your trip back to Nashville here in a couple of days. I heard a rumor you're going to Nashville to see Vandy and LSU in basketball. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, we're going up. Sunday, the ball game's at 4 o'clock. LSU. My wife, she loves the LSU Lady Tigers. She likes Kim Mulkey. Kim Mulkey, and I mean, I've got where I've followed her a little bit on Facebook and TikTok and all them things. She is very. I mean, she puts her heart and soul into her team, and she puts you in mind of it. She said she never coached under Pat Summick never coached her except whenever she played in the USA on the USA team, and she said, but she's just like Pat Summick, but she does get a little bit more. She'll You'll see her throw a ball across the field, and if ref don't say something, she'll run up in the ref's face. Some of that, yeah, but I mean, she is. I mean, we're gonna go see them play Sunday at 4 o'clock, and I mean, and they're both right now pretty ranked. I think
Mm-hmm.
LSU, the Lady Tigers, I think are fourth, and the Vanderbilt girls are 12th or something like
12.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, it'd be a cool vibe up there. I'm sure be packed. You would think with the LSU coming to town, it's going to with the
Yeah,
coach being a fan favorite, and both teams are ranked there, and 14-1 for LSU and 14-0 for Vandy. So
yeah.
that's gonna be a game to keep up with for sure. Yeah,
I
that's kind of
think
cool. You get to go to that. That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, we was very surprised when she seen it, and she kept talking about it, and she told me what it was, and I said, "If you want to go, that'll be part of your." We usually do stockings at Christmas time, and she'll put stuff in stockings for me. I don't never do it. I'm like, "Well, that'll be your stocking stuffer," and she's like, "That's fine with me. I want to do that." And so I was like, "Okay." You know, they always say, "Happy wife, a happy life," and that's what I try to do.
Yes, you got that right. All right. Let's just go ahead and jump into it, Randy. Let's hear about it. Let's talk about this Tennessee Illinois Music City Bowl in Nashville,
Oh, Lord.
Tennessee. I was on Tuesday night, December the 30th at 5:30 Eastern time on ESPN. Illinois is 8-4 going into the game. Tennessee's also 8-4. 52,815 fans were on hand. I thought it was a very good crowd. I thought it was a good mix. I saw a lot of
Yeah,
blue there for Illinois, a lot of orange for Tennessee, orange and white for Tennessee. I'll kind of go first on some of this stuff. All white for Tennessee jerseys, just kind of their standard road jersey, look good. All blue for Illinois, I didn't love it. The all now the helmet for Illinois, I didn't care for the helmet. It said it across the front there. Illinois just wasn't for me. I feel like that's kind of a new thing we're seeing with other teams. They put the whole team name on the helmet.
yeah.
For me, I'm just like, yeah, I don't love that.
I like the way Tennessee does their tee. You know what I mean? And, when you see Tennessee do their tee and then Georgia Tech's got the GT like on there. And I mean, and you'll see some of even I'm not a Bulldog fan, Georgia Bulldog fan, but I like the ones when they got the Bulldog on their helmet.
Okay, that's something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But, I mean, yeah, I mean, I thought I, I was eerie about the game and about whenever it all started off, what it was going to be like, and I had a feeling. I got a friend, and I used to. He worked with us there at Rand, and me and him will text back and forth during the game, and we both said, "I don't know if we can win this game or not because of our defense." And I hated to say that. I'm a Tennessee diehard fan, but just something about our defense just didn't seem like it was on clicking like they should have been.
yeah, when Tennessee got out there and scored first, and then it comes to Illinois, then they scored. So once it kind of offset, then I feel like that's when the game started, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
And
that's
then Tennessee went to kick that field goal here in the first half, missed the field goal, which that comes back to be a big point in the game. You got to be able to get the points where you can, which it was close, but it doesn't matter. It's got to go through the
yeah.
goalpost.
I mean, and I seen that our kicker hit the transfer portal. Did you
Oh,
see
did
that?
he? I did not
Yeah.
see that.
I just went out right before uh, we got on. I was looking at
Uh,
Facebook and it said he was going into the transfer portal. I thought, well, that's something. I mean, he was good
yeah.
on certain times, but if it seemed to me like if you put him in a stressful moment, I mean, I don't know. I ain't a kicker. I never was a kicker. I never. I'd say that can kind of play. You got to be stone cold, have that poker face, I guess what you'd say. Be good at it. But he's going in the portal. Look like we're going to have to get
It's
some
gonna be
players.
there'll be a lot of getting going on it, and just kicker wise, he missed that one against Georgia. He had his hit and misses, and just you just need one that's consistent.
Yeah, I
Got to
agree.
find a guy that can nail them from 50 to 20. Ole Miss guy, that guy's good, which we'll get to that here in a little bit.
That guy's good. I mean,
Yeah.
he's about like the guy that what was it, Oklahoma, the one that can kick, that one to wear the high shorts at Oklahoma.
Oh,
Yeah, he can kick. He can kick a mile away too. But we've got to find somebody that can be consistent in the. Because I honestly believe if we would have beat Georgia, I believe our season would have went different.
yeah, a lot happened early on in the year that if it could have gone the other way, like you just said, our whole year could have been different. And
The
it
whole
just,
year could be different because I've kids. I mean, I've coached kids when my boys was little. Kids go by momentum, and if they
yeah,
ain't got the momentum, I mean, yeah, they're supposed to grow out of that, but they don't. If they ain't got the momentum, you see them playing different. And
right.
I think that loss to Georgia hurt us. Then they thought we were going to beat Alabama, and then that just didn't go the way we wanted to, and we went down on a downhill slide. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a Heupel guy, and I'll stay behind Heupel. But I mean, if he don't, I think he made the right hire with hiring that guy from Penn State, which he was at Ohio State last year, and he went to Penn State. I think that was the right hire. We do need a good defensive coordinator. We just got to go in that portal and get us some good defensive players.
Yeah, we'll get into that defense here in just a little bit for the second half. At halftime, it was 10-7 uh, Illinois, and at that point, it was a pretty calm first half. I thought, kind of low scoring. Second half is when it gets the vibes there. The fans are into it, and the players are really getting into it with scoring some touchdowns and whatnot. So there, the quarterback gets sacked. He fumbles. He fumbles ball into the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois. At this
Mhm.
point, as a fan, we thinking, okay, it's time for a change of the quarterback. Should we play the backup? It's not going well at this point.
I think they should have pulled him. I do. I mean, I know but you just I've noticed with Heupel, he's if he's got one person, he seems like he's dedicated to that one person. But I
Yeah,
think I would have pulled that pulled Aguilera, and I mean, and gave one of you backups a chance just to see what you got, to see what you're going to have to do in the portal. That's
yeah,
my opinion. I mean, and I think a lot of people would probably say, yeah, I think he should have.
yeah.
But
That's what I was kind of thinking. I thought, okay, at this point, like, let's try something different because now we're down 17-7. And you just had a big play that's going to change momentum, and
mhm,
they're going to feed off that, and it could get to a point where it could get ugly. But the Vols, they got the ball back and they scored, so they kind of
that's
offset that whole situation. It was good to see him, put a fight back and score a touchdown there. This is kind of when it starts to get going back and forth. And then so Tennessee scores, and then Illinois gets the ball, and then they drive, and this is kind of when it starts going back and forth. Tennessee there towards the end, we'll kind of jump here to the end a little bit. They got the kickoff and they take it for a touchdown. So at this point in time, now they got the lead.
they
It's
got the
late in
lead.
the fourth. Can the defense stop Illinois in the fourth quarter late? Can they stop them? And what was the answer? No.
No, and that's what I mean. That kick, that punt return, that was just. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a guy you never heard of. I think they said he was a redshirt freshman or a freshman, and I mean, he run that ball back, and I'm like, where's he been at all year? Why ain't they doing? You know, what I mean, that right there showed they was trying to see what some of the people got. But I mean, we couldn't stop them on defense, and that's just hurt us. That hurt us all year. I mean, we got to do. I hope they do something. But I think we. I mean, what was it? Wasn't that Arian Carter? Wasn't he out during this game too? He's one of our defense. Wasn't he a defensive line, middle linebacker or captain? I think. I don't think
I
he
think
played.
so. Yeah.
I think he's. So I mean, I just hope. I just hope we get a good defense in next year that can stop everybody. I mean, how to say it? Look like our offense was all around that Basil, that Chris Basil. If he wasn't there, I mean, I don't know if he just don't. Aguilera was one dimension. Only looked for one or two people, and if they ain't there, he didn't know what to do. I don't know. And Basil wasn't there, and he couldn't get nothing going. I don't know. I just, it's heartbreaking, but that's part of being a Vols. They'll let me down. They'll be like what one person used to say at work. They're going to probably carry my casket to the grave because they one thing I can say about Tennessee Vols football. I love them, but they'll let me down.
Yeah. Like they definitely let the fan base down for sure. I was hoping when they got that defense there out there to, they had the lead. And can we see Tennessee just really put their foot down and prove that they want to be there? And they just let Illinois drive the field, and it was Illinois was just they got they got down there, and once they got down there, they were being pretty patient with it, and they just ran the clock down and kicked the game-winning field goal. And
I know.
if Tennessee would have kicked their field goals early on, those points are important.
If if he had made that field goal, that right there would still won because they just beat us by 2 points.
Yep. And it's just it's a heartbreaker when it's kind of a close game for all the fans to get to go to, and then it's you still want to win a bowl game, even though it's not what we want this year. It's you still want to come
You
home with a
still want to
trophy.
finish strong. You still want to finish strong. So
So with that being said, let's hear a grade for the team this year, Randy. Is it an A to an F? What would you give Tennessee Falls football?
I'll give us a C minus.
Minus. That's a fair score. I'll give him a I'll give him a I give him a C. I
Yeah.
just give him a C.
I
It's
mean, we didn't. We still had a winning record. What would that end us up being 8-5?
8 and
So
5. Yeah.
I mean that's not bad. Yeah, like I said, I think that I still believe if we could have beat Georgia, it'd been a whole different year. But I don't think we had that. I liked Aguilera. I did,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's the quarterback for us. I hope they get them. I hope in the portal we get us a dual threat quarterback, one that yeah he can scrap and he can run. Yeah, but he's not got that speed that some of them other quarterbacks got. That and got and that can throw the ball and scrap. We got to have us a dual threat quarterback because if you get you, my opinion, enough football I've watched and the way I like it, if you get you a dual threat quarterback, that opens up more of your running game because you don't know if he's going to hand off to your running back. And then when it opens up the running back, they're coming in guarding for the running back. That opens up your passing game. That I mean, that's just what I think we need, and I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I know that's what they pay them the big bucks for, not us.
Right. Well, it opens up January 2nd, which is today, the portal. So they got from the 2nd to the 16th. They got 2 weeks, 14 days to get some players together, and I'm sure there'll be a lot that probably leave, between the draft and or the portal. So as a fan, I try not to get too caught up into it. I want to see the players come in that they get, and I hope they are able to get these players and pay them well and get this team back to where we know they can be. So
Yeah,
start with the quarterback, and then need to go out there and get some names for defense. I think got the coach now, and now we need to. Is it some linebackers that we need, Randy, or do we need corners, or what's going on with defense?
I think we need some D backs, and we need a one or two one good linebacker because we lost Carter, and I think Carter was a good linebacker. He'll go in the pros, and he'll go pretty good. But we need a good linebacker and some we need some D backs because if you think about it, they pass the ball, and that's what they're picking on them, and I mean just that's my opinion. What I think we need. But I think we might ought to look into it. Look like we lost a guy on the what I seen too. We lost one of our linemen on the portal, so we're probably going to have to. They might, but we may have one in a waiting that can be just as good. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like teams, they come and go, and we might lose 15 or more, and then we might get 15 or so more. So they're going to come and go, and I'm curious. I feel like on teams that so guys that come in from like a smaller team, I feel like those guys are have the talent and they just need to be get put in the right situation. So I like to
Yeah,
hear teams and names that come up from smaller schools. Those are usually the guys to go get. If you get guys from a big school to a big school, then why are they leaving?
well, that makes a good thought. What you just said. Just think about that quarterback for Ole Miss, Trembless Chamber, or however you say it. That quarterback. They said he played at a D2 school last year,
Yeah.
and so look what he's done. I mean, Kifton got him in the portal, and he seen something to see that he could draw him off of. So I mean, I think that's where Javi. I mean, I'm not a Diego fan. I'm not a Diego fan. I will say this: he's a heck of a football player. He's a heck of a football player. He done some thing. He put some awesome numbers up for Vanderbilt, and he looked good. And he come through the portal. So and he come from New Mexico State. That's just
Yeah.
what is a D2 school. So I mean, there's kids out there they can get that's probably good enough to play that they just didn't get looked over because you had this one person they thought was a 5 star, and he really is not playing out to be a 5 star.
Right. A lot can change from from playing in high school days to not being tall enough or big enough or strong enough, and then
Yeah.
they go to the small school, but then they get recognized, and then they come to the big school. So that's what I like to see as a fan. I like to see these teams go get these smaller guys and bring them up and prove that they are top notch level.
Yeah.
Tennessee wise, I mean the year was 8 and 5, like we just kind of went over. Just for the year, just It's not what we want. And next year, I would, as a fan, I want to see us in the playoffs. Honestly, I want to see playoff
I,
bound.
I think if we're not, I mean, we need to be in the playoffs. I will always watch bowl games. I mean, I love watching college football on top of it. But what was it? I started with that Saturday, last Saturday when Georgia Tech. That's the first game I watched them play, and then I watched another team play after that, and then I watched all the way up. Well, I mean, I didn't watch none Monday night, but I did watch the Vols play, and then Wednesday night I watched the Miami game. I
Yeah.
mean, but that was more of the college football, college
Sure.
playoffs. But I mean, I think, I mean, if we're not in the playoffs next year, he can be hurting. He's
All right. I gotta lead you right into the next question, Randy. Coach Heupel, do you think he will survive next year as the head coach?
if he don't get us in the college, if we don't have 10 wins, he'll be gone. That's my
Yeah.
opinion. I
That's
think that I think that's what'll end up happening. And I mean, he might have hired his replacement. They may hire the. I mean, that may be what they was thinking. If we get this defensive coordinator in, Jim Knowles, he's a head defense coordinator. If we don't like him, if Heupel don't match out, he might take the head coaching place because you see a lot of head coach. Look at what Ole Miss done. They hired Pete Golick and when Kifton long left. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope not. I'm gonna be a Heupel man. I'll always be a Heupel man unless he just does something that's crazy out the wall. But I will be a Heupel man. But I can see that happening with the way Tennessee is.
Yep. They my take on all this is they better get 10 wins and they better find a way in those playoffs. And I'm
Find a
sure the
way.
fan base is chirping a lot from different shows and talk shows, radio shows. I'm sure they've been hot
Yeah.
these last couple of days. So you just gotta be able to win. It's a tough schedule, but it really doesn't matter. You just gotta win them.
You got to win them, and I hope they take the. Don't get me wrong. I hope they take the teams like Tulane Nate and James Madison out and give a chance. I mean, I don't know. It just that them first playoff games was just a joke to me.
Yeah.
They don't. They can't compete against them other teams like that. And I mean,
Yeah,
I don't.
that's right. All right. We're going to jump into the college football playoff. New Year's Eve, a Cotton Bowl. Miami and Ohio State. 10th ranked Miami versus number 2 Ohio State. Miami gets in the last second and they have a lot to prove. And they're in the ACC. I like the conference they're in. I like that they're making a little run here. Carson Beck has been showing out and he show that he wants to be out there, and he is trying to get his team as far as they can go. Ohio State gets a lot of love, a lot of attention. They, I'll just say it. I picked them to win it all. That was my team in my bracket, and my bracket's busted. But I should have known better because they won it all last year, and you don't see teams win back to back
No, it's
these
hard.
days
It's hard.
anymore.
It's hard to do that.
But Miami starts off hot, 14-0. Buckeyes throw a pick six. Man, he just threw it right to that guy that before halftime. So it starts off all Miami. They make a little bit of a comeback there towards the end. Buckeyes do, but just not enough. And I
No,
thought it was a good game, to get it all kicked off. They get the win 24-14. Miami does. They're moving on. Who would have thought that they would have gone this far, Randy?
honestly, I never thought they'd make it this far. I mean, I've when Carson Beck was with Georgia last year, I thought that was the laughing stock of Georgia. He was just, I don't, but I mean, he does prove to like wherever he goes, he wins. So he must
Yeah.
be better than I think he is. But I never thought Miami would be. I'm going to tell you, man, Miami's got a good shot. I mean, the Miami Ole Miss is going to be a game.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a game. And I mean, Carson Beck knows how, he's with Georgia, he knows how to win. Kirby, I will say this about Kirby Smart. He knows how to teach how to get his kids to win. And he's in that bracket. I don't know. But I mean that was a I I enjoyed watching that game. I didn't get to watch all of it. When we went to eat, it was on. I was watching it. And then I was keeping up with it on my phone while I was there. And then when we got back, got to watch the last half of it. That was a good ball game. I mean, they was some good. I'm gonna say the first game and the last game was two good football games. The other than that, but I mean, it just I don't know. That's gonna be it's gonna be. I like Miami. I like Miami. I do.
Yeah. It's something that, they've been pretty good as of late, and now they're really starting to show. And they're a team that's really good with getting those players in. Man, they pay a bunch of money down there in Miami,
Yeah,
and it's gotta be cool for the players to go down there. It's warm all the time.
warm all the
Getting a
time.
lot
Yeah,
to do as a college kid. I mean, my goodness, bright
but
lights and all kind of stuff going on down
yeah.
there.
I mean, I know you right there. I mean, you right there in Miami. You got the Orange Bowl. I mean, it's just who wouldn't want to live? Who wouldn't? If I was a kid and going through I'd want if Miami called me, I'd be really thinking that's nice down there. What kind? No, I mean, but when you got these big players that come from there. You see, Michael Irvin was come from there. Ray Lewis, I always liked Ray Lewis. He was an outstanding linebacker. I mean, you've had some big names come through Miami, and I just like Miami. I mean, I like, but yeah,
Yeah, I'll be curious kind of how all that goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that next game and see how they can stack up against the next team they're playing. All right, let's go to the Orange Bowl. 12 o'clock. This game come on at 12 o'clock. Oregon and Texas Tech. Oregon's a high-speed tempo team. They enjoy to go for it a lot on fourth down. They go for two a lot. It seems like, and they had a fake punt in this game, and just they're all for it. And
hmm
as a fan, I like to see these teams that have these high tempo offenses. It's fun to watch.
yeah.
Keeps you into it. It's not these games where they're just going to run the ball a lot and it's kind of low scoring. So Oregon wins 23-0. Texas Tech's got it. I thought they had a good defense. You know,
I mean from what you seen on TV and I'm talking about everybody building it up, you thought Texas Tech they got a good defense and I mean you think they could have stopped them, but they couldn't do nothing with Oregon. I
yeah, Oregon
mean,
came out and they knew what to do, and I don't know, Texas Tech just wasn't
that
thinking or
was,
just wasn't paying attention in the
I
film or
know
just didn't know it was coming. But five beat four, so these teams have been that are ranked lower have been getting beat, and it makes me wonder if the off time had anything to do with this. Do you think?
that's what you hear that and I'm wondering if it don't you get a buy and you think that buy is going to be good to get your kids rested, but you're there you got people like Oregon just come in and they didn't have a bye, and they just which they played James. Wasn't it? They played James
Yeah,
Madison, and I mean that was just a warm up game for them. But that gave them some. I mean, what was it? They said uh, Texas Tech hadn't played since their championship game, so that was
yeah.
almost a month.
That's
So
what I was saying. On the show, it's kind of what I was hearing too, and I didn't know it was so long, but it makes you wonder if these teams maybe don't want to buy, and I can see it both ways though.
I could see it both ways.
That game was not a whole lot went on that. Oregon's be a team to watch here with their next matchup. All right, the Rose Bowl, oh baby, this is going to be a good one to talk about. First off, I heard a lot of talk at work, at our job, about Alabama's going to win this game. Alabama's going to go all the way.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
going to win the
Yeah,
championship.
I I got a lot. I got down here all my family, all my wife's family. They're Alabama fans, and that's all I heard. Alabama's going to win it all. Alabama's going to go. They're going to do. Alabama could. Alabama, they didn't show up. They didn't show up.
No, they didn't. Um,
I
4 o'clock
mean,
start down there out there in California. The weather was pretty bad. It was wet all leading into it. It looked to be the game was somewhat dry, but man, it rained for days. It seemed like before the quarterback got knocked out. Looked like a big hit, knocked out the quarterback for Alabama. So
yeah,
I guess the fan base could say something about that, saying they
yeah,
feel
but
had their game. But
I mean, they can say that, but up to that, they hadn't even scored. And what was it before Ty Simpson went out? Was it 17-0 or something
17
like?
at halftime, 17 to
Yeah, I
nothing.
mean, they couldn't get nothing going.
Yeah, they
What
just
what hurt Alabama this year? And they'll probably everybody will even say it, Alabama could never get established a run game. They never had the running back just to help. They did a few games but I think somebody said he was out, but I don't know. But they're going to say that they never got a good running game like they have in the past, which I know a lot of teams don't depend on the run like they do. They all go on this spread, and you know what I mean, wanting the quarterback to run or wanting this to happen, but they never could establish a running game, and they can never. But I don't know, Indiana. They just look tough.
Yeah.
I mean that defense was just unstoppable, and I was thinking, Lord, I mean, like I said, it's going. I picked. I mean, I said at the beginning. You might remember me saying it in the break room. I think Indiana's going to win it all, but I mean, it's going to be interesting. It'd be
Yeah,
very
they got all the
interesting.
pieces.
They
They got
got
the
all the
defense.
pieces.
They got the quarterback. Man, that quarterback was looking strong.
He was on, wasn't he showed
God.
why he won the Heisman. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I know. So I'm like, man, that, and even they, I you if you, I watched the whole. I watched the whole game of it just
Mhm.
because I was ragging on to some of my family about how bad Bama's getting beat. But you heard the coach at the end saying this would be a perfect way to make a movie
Uh,
out of our season. And I mean, I could see they may try. Somebody may try to do that. Make some said we was nothing. You never heard of Indiana.
yeah.
Indiana's always been a basketball team. Have what they had this year in football. Ah,
Yeah. It's a basketball school, but now they're making the change over to football school. So, man, they can just run, they can pass, they got special
mhm.
teams, they got the defense, they got the offense. I mean, you name it. I wouldn't have thought that they would be where they are now if you'd asked me this back in the fall. But hey, we're here and they're strong. If I have a new team to go all the way, that's my team. I like the quarterback. He's humble.
He's humble.
Um,
He's very humble. He's very humble, and I like that.
yeah, because these days you get people that's all they get make a bunch of money and they're gonna have something to say, kind of like Pavia and whatnot.
Yeah,
But see him kind of the way he is and just go out and dominate. And as long as he can stay healthy, and Indiana's gonna make a run. Um, so now you're gonna have the tough matchup. Now, can Indiana versus Oregon? How's this gonna
yeah.
go out for
Have,
Indiana?
did they play them this year? Or they
I
didn't
don't.
play it.
No, no.
No,
Mm-mm.
because Indiana, no, Ohio State played Oregon. That's who I'm thinking. Ain't that? I think Ohio State always plays Oregon, and they got which Ohio State beat Oregon that time. But I think that's Oregon's only loss was to Ohio State. I ain't for sure, but
Yeah, something like that. But it's gonna be a game. You got the high speed Oregon versus Indiana.
Indiana,
He
that's gonna be a fun game. Is that coming on Friday night or
January the
Thursday?
9th.
That's so okay.
That's
That's
gonna is it Thursday, Friday, something like that. They got
I think it's Thursday, Friday, and I hate that. I
okay.
wish they do Friday, Saturday.
Oh yeah, I agree with
I
that.
mean, I mean, for us, the way we work, I wish they do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I mean,
Yeah, it's I was kind of curious if they were going to be able to keep up with the teams from the South, and Indiana proved it.
mhm.
On the show we were kind of talking about in the past how if you know they could they can compete, and they absolutely competed, and they blew out Alabama. So that game was it was a pretty good game to watch. It was a blowout, and just Alabama's going to regroup,
Mhm.
and they got the money. They can go get these players as well.
I mean, that's the thing. Alabama's got the money, and I will say, I don't. The portal is the NIL. Yeah, I can see it, but I don't know. It's just kids are moving off too quick now. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Alabama's always had the money, and that's why they've always won.
Yeah, they were dominant, and then this whole with all the how they're paying players, it's kind of got the little bit more level. I feel like it's kind of got everything leveled out with different teams popping up and being able to compete. Um, so with that being said, let's get into probably the best game of the year.
That was the best game I
Sugar
watched.
Bowl. It's 8 o'clock, late start for people that's got to work the next day like me. So it was Georgia versus Ole Miss. I'll let you cover this game a little bit here at the beginning, just back and forth. Let's hear it,
It,
Randy.
it went back and forth. I mean, and that first part, I thought Georgia's going to blow them away. I did. I thought Georgia's on fire, and then all of a sudden you see Ole Miss, their offense, I don't know, just started clicking. Charlie Weiss Jr. He's got them kids going. He knows how to coach them kids up. And I mean, I will say this, everybody. I'm not a. I've always liked Lane Kiffin. No, I don't. I didn't like what he done to us at Tennessee, but I understand why he done it. But he built that team. He built that team
Yeah.
offensive wise. And I thought, damn, this defense, our defense has really stepped. Georgia's defense has really stepped up and is going to stop this offense. And boy, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I don't know. It just went back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth. And I mean, one person do this, next person do that, and both them quarterbacks, that Stockman and Chambers, hey, they was getting beat up. They
Oh
was,
yeah, there was
yeah.
big hit there. First half, I saw the guy from Georgia. He threw it. And he just got leveled, just
Yeah,
flattened, and then he scored like the next play on a sneak in, but to the end zone. But there was these hits are getting bigger and bigger each year in college football, and they're just
I know.
I guess they're getting bigger, and all the players are getting stronger, and they're really getting it dialed in. Which here in the first half, Ole Miss, so they got a good kicker. That guy transferred in from Western Kentucky, I think. I think that's what I was
Yeah,
hearing on
I
the
think that.
TV,
Yeah,
and he nailed a 52 or 53, something like that. Hitting new records on the long
on the
field
long
goals.
punch.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
important to get those.
yeah. I mean, he got a leg on him. He could kick that ball. Well, he didn't he get a he got a 53. Didn't he turn around? Didn't he kick a 55
50,
too?
yeah, just the next few drives later, he kicked another long one. They were just right down the middle. It was amazing just as a fan to see how accurate he really is.
I mean, for the ball game to end up like it did,
Yeah.
I mean, first off, it's just going to be a defensive struggle. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they kept kicking. Ole
Yeah.
Miss could go down, but Georgia's defense would stop them, and they'd only
Mhm.
come up with a field goal. And same way with Georgia, it was going back and forth like that. But I'm like you. I think it was one of the best games. I think I sat just got to sit down and watch
Mhm.
all year. Way it went back and forth, back and forth. Then at the end, what was it? Whenever Georgia had the ball, and I kept thinking,
Ah,
you're driving too fast.
yeah.
You give them any chance. And I think even the announcers said, if you score here, you're giving them 30 seconds, and they got a kicker that can kick from 55
Yeah.
yards. He can kick his field goal and win the ball game. Because I mean,
Yeah.
way it played out, what was it? Georgia's Ole Miss scored, and they went for two and got the two would make it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you going to Georgia? I'm not a Georgia fan. I was pulling for Ole Miss,
Yeah.
but Georgia was. I'm like, Georgia, you gonna mess up? You gonna give us a chance? And they did. And I mean that he took it down, got that 40-yard pass, and boom, he got him right down in field goal range and took it right down to the last second, which that last second lasted for about 20 minutes because something about when he kicked the field goal, it was 2 seconds, and
Yes.
something
Yeah.
about it went through. It stopped at one, and then when we kicked the ball off, of course Georgia tried to do the Tennessee Titan thing they did that year, throw the lateral here, throw the lateral there, and something happened. I was like, man, just call the game. I mean, Georgia. I mean, call the game.
Yeah. I was watching the highlights upstairs, and they got all the field stuff's coming out for the stages,
Yeah, and they'd
and they had
have
to
to
push
push
him
it back
back, and then they brought him out at some point again, and they had to push him back
right there
again.
again.
The coach got the bath of Gatorade, and then it wasn't over yet. And I hate to see that because it was such a great game,
It
and to
was
see
such
it
a
kind of
great
end
game,
that
and the way
way.
it, yeah, I agree. I didn't like the way it ended. I mean, it didn't show what really. I mean, two good. You had two good, two probably. I'm gonna say two of the best SEC teams playing.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I don't. I mean, Ole Miss didn't get to play in the SEC championship, which that's probably good. But I mean, I think that was two of the best SEC teams that had to battle each other. And I mean, I just, I mean, it just, and they played what I thought was going to really happen. I mean, they both fought tooth and nail all the way to the end, and that's what I like to see in a good football game.
yeah. As a fan, that's kind of what I want to see as well. I just want to see these two teams come out, compete at a high level, and I like it when it's back and forth, kind of
I
like
do
this
too.
was.
I
The
do
score,
too.
it keeps you into it. It makes you want to keep watching, and at the end of the day, the best team won, and I kind of wrote off Ole Miss early on, probably too early. At the halftime mark when Georgia was got the lead and they got the momentum, and Ole Miss was trying to kick a field goal, and they didn't get their field goal team out there in time, and it was just the
Yeah,
coach
poor
was
management.
mad
Yeah,
and
I
just
forgot about that poor management right at the beginning, and I mean that could have changed. I mean, you could tell. I don't. I mean, they wasn't. I don't know. It's just poor clock management.
yeah. Like I should have got out of bounds. I don't know why I didn't step out of bounds. Instead, he gets turns left to go back in the field there, and the clock's gonna keep ticking. He didn't get the first down, so he didn't know what down it was or didn't know the time situation. And then the time ran out,
Yeah,
halftime, and then at that point, I was like, well, we'll just have to see how the second half goes. I know Georgia, and I've seen them put teams away, and they
the
didn't
team's
put them
away.
away. I had them to win by 7. That was my one of my picks on the show with Casper this past show, and I knew Georgia was good, and I thought they were going to start clicking at the right time. They got the win over Tech, and they got the conference championship, and now it's time to go to the bowl game, and they had a lot of time off as well. So I was
Yeah,
wonder if the
I
time
think
off
a lot
thing.
of time off. I think a lot of time off. I believe if I was a team and I had to play in the playoffs, I don't think I'd want to. I mean, the only way I might say it might be good if you had your quarterback and everybody else really hurt and it could give them a little bit of rest. But I don't know if that don't hurt them.
Yeah,
You
I
just,
wonder if there'll be a change in the next years to come if they're going to change how the playoffs work about giving these teams buys.
it might. I could see that happening. I mean, I like to see it happen. I mean,
Yeah,
what's the only team that had a bye that won was Indiana.
yeah.
I mean,
Everybody else lost literally.
Texas Tech lost.
Texas Tech
And
lost.
then,
Yeah,
I mean, Texas Tech lost. What was it? Ohio State lost, which I'm never. I don't like Ohio State. I despise Ohio State. But Ohio State's going to have that quarterback of theirs. He's just a freshman at Ohio
oh,
State.
oh,
He's going to be, and he was in the Heisman running. He was one of the top 4. I think he's just a freshman, and he's going to be tough. They're
good.
going to be
Okay.
tough.
All right, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions on some picks, Randy. Who you got in the Ole Miss Miami Fiesta Bowl on January the 8th?
I think Ole Miss is going to beat them.
Ole
I
Miss.
think that. I think Ole Miss will beat them by 3.
So you got Ole Miss going to the championship game, and you got Oregon and Indiana. Who you got in that one, Randy?
Indiana. I don't know. It'll be close. I think it'll be a close. I think. I don't know. It might be another blowout. Indiana's defense looks pretty tough. They may blow. They may keep them within. I mean, just shut them down. I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be Indiana and Ohio State in the national championship. No,
Indiana.
no, Indiana
Yeah,
and Ole Miss. Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and who you got in that game?
I hope Ole Miss. I'm gonna pull from SEC, but I think Indiana will beat them. I
So you
think
got it.
I think Indiana's gonna win it out. And that'd be
Good.
something. What is that? Be 16. See, they've 13 wins now, right?
Yeah. hmm
14,
14. So they got 14 now. So 15. Six. So it'll be 16.
16. Yeah, that would be something for them to. You don't see that much because most of the teams in there has got at least one loss. I mean, that'd be something. They could really say they're true number one team in the nation.
Yeah, I like to see a team that could go unbeaten, 16 and 0.
I would like to see that.
That would
But
be
I'm
cool.
gonna. I mean, that's who I think will win it. I'm gonna pull for Ole Miss. I'm gonna pull for Ole Miss just
Yeah.
because. I mean, and think about it. All 4 teams that's in there, they come out from under Nick Saban's coaching tree.
Yeah. I saw a
That
picture
tells you
somewhere and it showed
that
all
just
them.
tells you what type of what type of leadership they had
Yeah.
and what made them win.
Yeah, they learned and they got the process figured out and they know what to do and they learned from the best. And now they're putting what they learned into their head coaching
Yeah.
and here they are.
And didn't your coach at Georgia Tech didn't he
Yeah.
come? He didn't he
Yeah.
coach under
Yeah, he
he
did.
coached under Saban has made some good coaches. I
You get
mean,
down there and just be a coordinator under him, and your
yeah,
future is bright.
your future is very bright because and if you just sit under him and learn some of the things, which he's doing television now, he's probably making a whole lot more money television. And
Yeah.
but I mean, they've learned a lot. And I mean, a lot of them coaches will say that. I mean, every coach, most of, I mean, that's just what I couldn't get over. Usually see somebody else, another team in there that had a different coach that's come through there. But I mean, I mean, I never liked Alabama, but I did respect Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Thought he was a heck of a coach.
Yeah, you got to respect what he does, and he's I guess he's the goat. You can call him the
He's a
goat.
goat. Yeah.
He is the goat. So, all right, well that about wraps that up. We got a little time, man. So let's talk about some Vols basketball. So now we're getting close to basketball season for Tennessee. You got
Yeah.
any thoughts on this team for this year, Andy?
Well, I tried to watch one of the games the other night. I think it, and and I I don't know. We sound like we've got a young team. From what I can tell. I hope we do. I hope they turn it around. I hope. I mean, I like to see them make it to the elite all the way up. Once playing in a Sweet 16, then make it to the Elite Eight and Elite Four. I love, but I don't know. I ain't watched much of the men's basketball that much, but I don't know. Ah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It all kind of starts up here with conference play. So now we're going to kind of get to see and
We'll see
so
what we got.
yeah, that's all it's going to come down to. We're going to see what we got and see how that goes. Do you have anything else, Randy?
I don't think so. No, I can't think of nothing right off my top of my head.
I can't think of anything either. Pick wise for me and Casper, it all is going to come down to the Ravens and the Steelers. For those that watch the show and keep up with it, if the Ravens can win by four or more, then Casper, then we're going to tie. We'll have to figure out a tiebreaker. So I was going to let y'all know on that. That's how that's looking. But that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and close it down with you this time, Randy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube. Follow us on the Facebook, Instagram, X, all that good stuff. Give us a like, give us a follow. Thanks for coming on, Randy.
And thank you, man. Thank you for letting me be on there, buddy.
No problem. We will have a show on Sunday with Casper. We'll kind of preview some of these playoff games, talk a little bit of basketball, talk about the Titans a little bit.
All right.
And with that being said, we're going to say
See
see ya
you in the
see
next
you
one.
in the next one.